Welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. Every Sunday, we bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. This Sunday, we're going around the city to our favorite lakes to talk about lakefront properties and some of the economic development going on around those lakes. We've got just a house full in here today over at the RREA.com studio over in Spring, Texas. We've got a lot of folks here. I'm your host, Shannon Register. We've got John Simmons here. He's a realtor with Register Real Estate Advisors, RREA. We've also got Keith Hebert on the line. Keith, you still there?
I am.
Keith is calling in. He's one of the brokers over at RREA. And then we've got Chris Childress on Skyping in. You there, Chris?
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Chris has got some great listings over in the Lake Livingston area, so we're going to be talking with him as well. And then we've got Michael Prats, who was talking to you last segment. He's the Economic Development Coordinator over at the Lake Houston Economic Development Partnership and gave us some great information on the Lake Houston area. So now we're going to change gears a little bit and talk about Lake Livingston. All right, Chris, I know you've got some great listings over there. Before you get into that, though, one last thing for you. We are trying to get to 13,000 likes on our Houston Real Estate Radio Facebook page. So if you're in front of your computer, jump on over there, facebook.com/Houston Real Estate Radio. Give us a like. We appreciate it very much. And I'd like to put our videos of the shows out there for you every Sunday. So if you miss any of the show, you can catch it there, but you can also get it online at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com. All right, Chris, take it away for us. Lake Livingston.
Man, that's an area that's really blowing up.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right, I keep getting this thing telling me I've got internet connection issues.
He's Skyping in. All right.
All right. I've been selling real estate and working in real estate in Houston for a lot of years, and I have never seen the amount of activity and interest in Lake Livingston that I have in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's really been exciting. I've got a commercial listing where some big name investors are coming out of Houston to get into the restaurant industry, waterfront restaurant industry out there. I've got a particular client I've worked with quite a bit recently who owns tons of property around the lake, waterfront property, commercial, residential and commercial. And this guy's buying up everything that he can find out there. And there's, big name companies. He's got one stretch of property, like 14 acres, that he's been offered, multi-millions of dollars for, and he's just sitting on it. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of growth. There's actually over 150 neighborhoods on the lake out there. I don't know how much you know about Lake Livingston, but it's a little over 80,000 acres. Stretches into 4 counties. It's actually the second largest lake in the state, and it's 100% inside the state of Texas.
I know a lot of people enjoy boating out there.
And it's so versatile. It's like, Lake Conroe it's really a sportsman's lake, a lot of skiing and water sports and that. But Lake Livingston, it's 4 times the size, or almost 4 times the size of Lake Conroe. So it's great for fishing and, and all kind of water sports, not just water skiing and wakeboarding and all that kind of stuff. And it's just tremendous for that. There's dozens of fishing tournaments that go on out there. Just a lot more than I ever knew about until the last couple of years when I really tried to get involved.
Yeah, I know that you've done a lot of work out there selling both residential and commercial over in the Lake Livingston area, and it seems to be growing a lot in that area. I mean, not that all of Houston isn't growing, but these lakes seem to be getting a lot of attention in these last few years.
They are. And I actually sold a...
Uh-oh, Chris, did you cut out on us? Did we lose you? All right, let's go to Keith. We'll come back to Chris. Keith, I know you've got some listings out there on Lake Livingston, too. Tell me, what's your favorite part of Lake Livingston?
Well, I like the area around Onalaska. It's really some great communities out there. I like, being across the bridge right there. I just think it's a real pretty part of the lake.
And you're a fisherman, right?
I am. That lake is 40 miles long, and there's 450 miles of shoreline. So there's plenty of places to go fishing and plenty of places to put houses out there.
Yeah.
When you're looking at, Blanchard, Cold Springs, Onalaska, and Point Blank, there's several living communities along the water in all of those areas. Mm-hmm.
What do you think draws people to Lake Livingston versus Lake Conroe or Lake Houston? What do you think makes it? What do you think sets it apart?
Well, I think the size of the lake and the number of boats on it is, it's a lot less when you have, this lake is the second largest lake in Texas, and there's 93,000 acres of lake, so you can get a boat on there, and it may actually, go places where you can't find anybody for a little bit.
Yeah.
Where in Lake Conroe, it gets very stacked.
Yeah.
At times, and can be dangerous, But Lake Livingston, you just have a lot of area to go boating on.
Yeah. All right, Chris, did we get you back? Are you still Skyping with us?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah. And another point you had asked, Keith, I think what attracts people, what I've found or the feedback I'm getting is that the lot size out at the Lake Livingston area is, you get a lot more land for your money still, even though, property values are going through the roof. I was starting to mention a gentleman that I'm familiar with bought a waterfront property out there for $130,000 about a year and a half ago, and he's had offers in the 280s to 350s for that same piece of property now. Another one we sold last summer, these guys bought a great little house on the water in a little cove, paid right at $200,000. They refinanced it 8 months later with a $260,000 appraisal.
Wow, that's great. That's
it's a huge, and then the tax rates. I mean, you're talking about.
Yeah. All right. Let's get back. We lost him. We lost him again. All right, Keith. I want to hear about your listing because I know you've got some listings not on the water, and then you have some on the water. So let's talk about that.
Right now, I have a real nice listing. Over off of 3126. It's over 202 Jack White Road. It's 16 acres. It's about 1 mile from Lake Livingston as the bird flies, and it has a 3-acre lake on it that's fully stocked. It's got a couple of 3 bridges over it. It's just a real beautiful property.
It is beautiful.
And now with tax
there's a great video of that property too.
Yeah, there is a great video. With tax exemptions, with the cattle on that land, it's $1,800 a year for taxes.
Wow.
For 16 acres. And that's, it's got a nice, 2,000 square foot home and a barn bigger than the home.
I love it. All right, that's great. And so properties that are not actually on the lake that are just in the area are doing really well as well.
Yeah, I think there's a resurgence in that area. There's a lot of folks that grew up in that area, and they moved away down to Houston. And then when they think about, where do they want to go when they start retiring, they're heading back home. So you get a lot of people moving back to Livingston and Blanchard and Cold Springs. Cold Springs is a great place to go and retire and not be so far from Houston you can't get to the medical communities.
Right.
But also be very close to beautiful place in the world.
Michael, let's run back to you over here at Lake Houston. How large is Lake Houston?
Population-wise, it's right at about 240,000 for the 6 zip code area that is the Lake Houston area.
How does the lake fit in with Lake Conroe, Lake Livingston, size-wise?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure about the particular size of the acres of Lake Houston, but I know the one thing that kind of makes it unique amongst all those groups of lakes is that there's not really any commercial land use on the shores. There's one piece of commercial property that's in use right now. It's Kings Harbor, and that's right at Westlake Houston Bridge. On Westlake Houston Parkway, and so it's predominantly residential homes, large lot, really nice residential homes along the shores of that lake.
All right, and up on Lake Conroe, there's a lot of commercial on Lake Conroe. You've actually got a lot of restaurants and places other than other things other than where people live, and you've got a lot of national forest. A lot of it has national forest on it. So you've got a lot of mixed use up at Lake Conroe. We're going to be right back after a word from our sponsors, and we're going to talk about pricing and how to choose a home on the lake because there are some things to think about, some tax implications. There are lots of things to think about when you're buying a lake house, whether it's going to be for your homestead or as a vacation property. So we've got a lot of folks here in the studio talking about all these different lakes around Houston. If you're interested in buying a lakefront property, we've got realtors right here on the line that can help you. Give us a call, 281-882-8088. We'll be happy to answer your real estate questions. And if you need a realtor to help you find a property, you can call RREA at 281-288-3500. Make sure you like us over there on Facebook. We do put out our videos every week. And if you miss any of today's show, you can also go to HoustonRealEstateRadio.com to see the videos. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Thanks, guys.
you